is a reminder that without oxygen, without sunlight, things could go wrong. This plant has been in my basement for a couple of months now since I bought it. And it's been growing, yes, but it began to have a kind of smell. I knew that it needed some sunlight and air. I took it out. Watch out for more about what we did with it. Welcome again to our channel. We are glad to have you back. In Psalms chapter 85 from verse 1, Lord, thou hast been favorable unto thy land. And in verse 8, I will hear what God, the Lord, will speak, for he will speak peace unto his people and unto his saints. But let them not turn again to folly. And this plant has been a very big lesson for us about listening. The plant has had this damp smell and was beginning to break somewhere in the middle. You can see the leaves. But we realized that we need to give it some air, moisture, and some maybe sunlight. And that's what we did. We took it out, and you can see that it grew a lot, touching the floor, and it felt much more better. We also, as human beings, we always need to listen to God. You know, sometimes God is always listening to us, but are we listening to God? So I listened to this plant. She needed some sunlight. She needed some air. She needed some, opportunity, a place to grow. She was in the basement for a couple of months now, or weeks. And we realized that she needed some of these things that we have mentioned. And as soon as we took it out, it showed us that it was happy to have received some fresh air. The damp smell was no longer there, and the sunlight made it have a very nice color, and it started to smell like we knew it at the beginning when we got this plant. And this reminds us of something that happened, to the Titanic. There was an alarm that went out, the wireless operator was trying to reach to another boat, or another, I'll say, ship that was beside the Titanic when it was almost going to sink, and he said, "Come at once, we have struck a berg." Those were the first words Harold Cotham, the wireless operator of the RMS Carpentier, received from the sinking RMS Titanic at 12:25 a.m. on April the 15th, 1912. The Carpentier would be the first ship to the disaster scene, saving 706 lives. Many years later, the United States hearings days later, the Carpentier captains Arthur Rothron testified, and he said, "Oh my God, everything was just provincial." Okay, the wireless operator was in his cabin at the time, and they were sleeping, and for some reason, if they had had the call for alarm earlier, they would have saved maybe more people. We never know. But what we learn from that is that listening matters, especially listening to God. The writer of Psalm chapter 85, the sons of Korah, he urged us that we need to be attentive obedience. When he wrote, he said, "I will listen to what God, the Lord, says." He has promised, or he speaks peace to his people, his faithful servant. But they should not turn to folly. Surely this salvation is near only to those who fear God. In verse 9, that's what we see. So the admonishment here, the admonition that we have here is actually straightforward and clear. Rebellion, folly, disobedience can stop anybody from listening to God's voice. So listening to God is very paramount. You need to listen to God, and God will help you to navigate the stormy waters, the troubled waters of life. The night that the Titanic sank, if that operator hadn't gone to bed at the time he went, perhaps more lives would have been saved. So if you listen to God, perhaps some bad things that happen to you, or some mistakes that you made, you wouldn't have made them if you were attentive to God's voice. And that's why we need to listen to God by obeying his teachings, by following what he says in the Bible, and we will be able to go through whatever life throws at us. I hope that we remain blessed and that we pay attention to God's voice, and that our thoughts, our words, our actions will stay close to God in all of this. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and to share these videos to many people. They need to hear this, and so that they can be blessed as we are blessed. God bless you, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, to share, to like, and to put your comments in the comment section below. Thank you. Until next time.